All right, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Chamber Chat. I'm your host, Jeff Griffin, President and CEO of the Peoria Area Chamber of Commerce. Special guest today, Rachel Hammer. Rachel's a board member at Salvation Army, works at Caterpillar, and volunteers her time for the Salvation Army as their events board member, right?
For the organization of Echelon, yep.
Okay. We'll let you explain all of that.
Sure.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get right into it. What is the...
Sure. So I'm here representing Echelon.
Okay.
We're a fairly new organization in Peoria. We are branded as the Young Professionals Auxiliary of the Salvation Army.
Okay.
It's a national organization. There's currently around 8 chapters nationally, with more being formed every year. Peoria is actually the 4th chapter nationally, behind Phoenix, Dallas, where it was founded, and Seattle. So 3 pretty big cities, and then little old Peoria founded the 4th chapter. So
how did
pretty
Peoria
exciting.
get involved with that?
So our founder and our current president, Tyreke Straw, sits on the Salvation Army Advisory Board. And he kind of looked around and he was like, wow, there's really not any legacy in this room. And what happens when all of these people roll off the board or, don't have the time or anything like that? Who's going to step up and take those? So he kind of said, I think we need to do something for young professionals for the Salvation Army. You know, Salvation Army is a huge, huge international name, very well respected, does great things for the communities. And that's something that he thought he could get some young professionals involved in. So he kind of talked to them, and they said, look, there's this new thing that's kind of being formed nationally called Echelon. Do you want to brand your organization as that? And so kind of ran with it.
And how long ago was that?
It was 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Not even 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have been moving quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Because when everyone thinks of Salvation Army, what do we think of? Right? The bell ringers.
Yep, red kettles and the shield.
Very good services, obviously. Service to the homeless and this, that, and the other. And now building, just like in the chamber, are you involved with the Caterpillar Young Professionals?
I am.
Okay.
Yep.
The Caterpillar and the Chamber of Commerce, of course, we have young professionals of Greater Peoria, and it's good to see the young professionals plugging into Salvation Army in this case.
Definitely. So we don't just volunteer for existing things that the Salvation Army does. We've kind of created our own volunteer and service events.
Okay.
So obviously Salvation Army focused on service, focused on bettering the community. So we're doing that, but in our own kind of way. So Echelon will serve dinner at the drop-in center on Mondays, every other Monday, and also on Thursdays with food that is donated from Firehouse Pizza and Michael's Italian Feast.
Okay.
So we do that every week. We also do a financial literacy program at the family shelter where we kind of help some of the residents learn about budgeting, basic financial skills, maybe some of the things that could help them get out of their current situation. And those are kind of the ongoing, week after week or month after month programs. We do a couple other bigger events. So at the Peoria Citadel down in West Peoria, we do an Easter program for the neighborhood kids. And then before school starts, we also do a carnival that we brand Summer's Last Blast, a back to school carnival where we have fun on the run, bring some of their inflatables and some carnival games, and the kids just get to have a good time, have some hot dogs. And with the carnival games, they win school supplies. So, West Peoria is not necessarily the most up and up community, and these are school supplies that these kids would really, really need to get the school year started off right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a couple services I'm a little familiar with. I want to make sure our listeners understand the Salvation Army. We mentioned, of course, bell ringing is probably going to be starting. What does it start now? That's before Thanksgiving?
The kickoff is next Friday at the Northwoods Mall.
Gotcha.
Yep.
But the drop-in center, you mentioned you guys are serving meals weekly at the drop-in center.
Yes.
What is the drop-in center?
The drop-in center is just a place for people who are maybe down on their luck a little bit to come and get a roof over their head and a hot meal. When there's actually a very involved member of ours, Kyle Barber, was doing some service at the drop-in center, and he was handing out a cold ham sandwich every week, and thought, there's so many generous local restaurants in Peoria, we can get something better than a cold ham sandwich. So he approached Michael's and said, hey, look, I see this need. would you like to donate? And he's kind of helped foster that relationship, and we've built a relationship with Firehouse Pizza as well. So they don't just get a cold ham sandwich anymore; they get a full spaghetti dinner or pizza and salad.
And how many citizens are you serving?
It varies every night, but I'd say average 50 plus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then the family shelter is the same or different than
The family shelter is for women and children.
I see.
Yep.
And
So.
Go ahead. Ma'am.
I was just going to say that we do our own fundraising as well. So the programs that we support are funded through Echelon. So we don't get money like from the Salvation Army. We're a green dollar impact to the Salvation Army. So we do have some fundraising efforts that we support on our own.
Gotcha. So it's you guys operate under the umbrella Salvation Army, but independent in the sense it's another
Yep.
kind of accelerator for some fundraising.
Yes.
So you have something coming up.
Yeah, we do. So we have our flagship event called Red Hot Christmas. This year it's on Friday, December 2nd. It's always the first Friday in December. It's at the Paradise, and it's a red carpet gala. Last year it was at the Paradise as well. We made big improvements from 2014 to 2015 and looking to do the same 2015 to 2016. So this is our third event, and we're very excited in the midst of planning and getting everything squared up. So a little bit about the event is at the Paradise, tickets are $75.
Okay.
And your ticket includes all you can eat appetizers, heavy hors d'oeuvres, and drinks as well. And then within the event, we have several what we call like our in-event revenue streams. So we do have a silent auction. We've got some really exciting things, especially for Cubs fans this year. We've got some spring training viewing and some Cubs tickets. Also some things locally within Peoria, tickets to Limelight, a few things that we're carrying over from last year. We also do a wine pull where we have bottles of wine packaged in little grab bags.
Right.
And for a donation, you can just blindly pick a bottle of wine, and it could be valued anywhere from like $13 to $150. The last thing we do as like an in-event revenue stream is a balloon pop. So we gather donated gift cards from local businesses, and you can go in and buy a balloon, and you pick your balloon and you pop it, and in that balloon there's going to be a number. That number corresponds to a gift card. So you walk away with at least a $20 gift card for your $20 donation.
Gotcha.
So everything that, you are buying in the event, you walk away with something too.
And this is the Red Hot
Christmas.
Red Hot Christmas,
Yep.
Friday, December 2nd at the Paradise.
Yep.
And if people want to, it's $75 a person.
Yep.
If people want tickets, where do they go to?
They can just go to redhotchristmas.org. And I actually have a surprise for all the listeners. We have a $5 off coupon code for anyone that hears the podcast and wants to buy tickets. So the code for that is just Chamber5. Chamber and then the number 5.
Chamber and the number 5.
Yep.
Did you get permission from my attorney to use that?
Should I have?
No, not at all. Not at all. What's the 5 for?
$5 off.
Oh, I got you. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Well, that makes sense. So Chamber, the number 5
Yes.
is your code at
redhotchristmas.org.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And that's Friday, December 2nd. Sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
What else is going on? What besides the big fundraiser? I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a big deal for us. Last year we wrote the Salvation Army an $11,000 check out of that event.
Wow.
So yeah, huge impact that we're making toward community programs and things that we're doing to fund within Echelon independently.
Yeah.
Christmas season's gearing up, so you'll see us out ringing bells. I believe we'll be at Hy-Vee, the new Hy-Vee Grand Prairie, and Kroger in Washington, I believe, is our spot. So if you see us out there, say hey, drop a couple coins or $1 in the bucket for us. We'd appreciate that.
And isn't there something else that people can make a donation at the beginning of the season? You get like a Salvation Army lapel pin. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't offhand.
I've seen these going around. We can check it out. So we'll let the listeners know. Salvation Army has a deal because, of course, people are so generous with that.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a great tradition. But I had a friend last year, and he was wearing the Salvation Army lapel pin. He made a big donation at the beginning of the season.
Wow.
So then when he walked by the kettle, he didn't feel like he had to throw a quarter in
that
every
makes
time
sense,
or whatever.
yeah.
He just showed his lapel pin. He got a little
Yeah, I'm sure there's
cross-promotion.
information on the Salvation Army Heartland Division, which is our local division's website.
Right. So Salvation Army, the services, provided here in the Peoria area? You mentioned serving 50 people at the drop-in center, and that's
Every night.
Every night, and that's not a shelter. That's just people dropping in to get a meal, right?
It's changed a little bit. This year they lost some funding, so for the past few months it has just been a meal. When the drop-in center was funded through the state of Illinois and nationally, it was a little bit of a different program. You had to be a client of the Salvation Army to receive a meal, but now it's open to anyone. So anyone that needs a hot meal, wants a hot meal, can come in and get one from the shelter downtown. And it's not just Echelon that does service. There are other church groups and other organizations that have stepped up when the funding was cut and said, I still really feel strongly that we should be providing meals in the community.
Yeah, no, it's very difficult to see, and with the state financial problems and really tough economic times, and sometimes we say that and we kind of become immune to it, but we have a homelessness problem in the nation, and Peoria is not immune from that. So these services are so vitally important, and not only to sustain our fellow citizen and get them a hot meal, but some interaction and help them pull themselves up by the bootstraps and move on to their next.
I serve most Mondays, so I've really had my eyes opened in a lot of different ways from doing that. But a lot of times you can tell that they just want someone to chat with. They just want someone to know them by their name and to hand them their slice of pizza or, plate of spaghetti or whatever it is and say, hey, how are you doing? How is your day? I hope you're doing well.
So is there, obviously no names, please, but is there a special story or something you could share with the listeners of interaction with the guests at the drop-in shelter?
With me personally, it's just, I've kind of got to know their names. They're opening up a little bit, telling me about, what they're doing for the day, if they have somewhere to go in the evening. They're just becoming a little bit more vocal about their personal story. But I know that Salvation Army does have someone that they've kind of they had start in the drop-in center and kind of become a client and go through their rehabilitation program and whatever facet that was for that individual, and they now have a full-time employment. So they've really picked themselves up, and I know that everyone's really proud of those kind of stories that we can see. No,
absolutely. And so what you see down, some of the folks that come in for the free meals may have a place to stay at night, may have a job. It's just from all over the place. They just need a meal, right? And to keep them moving a little bit.
Yeah, and a lot of them are clients people that we used to see as clients, but as the funding has changed, they're not technically a client anymore. It's a lot of the same faces every week.
Right. All right, Rachel. Well, we're winding down time here. Anything else you want to make sure the listeners know about the work you guys are doing?
Just spread the word. Right. We're a new organization, Echelon. The good things that we're doing in the community, we'd love for people to know about those things. And if you want to support us and the efforts that we're doing, please come to Red Hot Christmas. We'd love to see you guys there. It's a really good time. Patrick and Swayze is going to be doing live music for us. So doors open at 6. There'll be a short program, and then music and dancing shortly after that.
Fantastic. Yeah. And in case you missed it, let's go ahead and repeat it. redhawkchristmas.org. Red Hawk Christmas.
Red Hot.
What did I say? Red Hot.
Yes.
What did I got here?
Red Hot.
Red Hot. Is it one T or two?
Just one.
Red Hot, REDHOT, Christmas.org.
Yes.
And that's where you get your tickets for the event December 2nd. And for the listeners, Chamber 5. The number 5 is your discount code for $5 off that $75 ticket.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for being on Chamber Chat.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And thanks for joining us, listeners and viewers, on PeoriaLife.com.